That's a big question because it has so many layers when you're a mom and you're a business owner and you're a wife and you try to be a good member of your community.
Probably the struggles I face the most in my day-to-day life have been being heard and sometimes feeling like I have to fight harder than a man would have to fight to have the same respect and recognition.
There's always a struggle. I think the expectation that women have to take care of everyone around them, especially when you're owning a business, have a family, and have other responsibilities outside of work, juggling your life.
My struggles have always revolved around, am I doing enough for my children? Are they getting the short end of the stick? Am I doing enough for my work, for the people I lead? And then obviously just taking care of myself, right? Fitness, eating well, getting enough sleep, because sometimes I think as just a mom or just a woman in business, we're kind of the last person. We get the leftovers for ourselves.
Every day brings on a different series of struggles. I think it's more how we respond to them, whether something's truly a struggle or not. But for me, in business, it's tough being a woman. It's not the easiest in a lot of male-dominated industries. So that's probably the biggest one I face.
I think that sometimes that women can have an influence, just a message maybe, probably just across the country that, you can only accomplish so much in life. And I think that's really unfortunate because, women can do, I think, far more than they actually believe they can.
So I'm an interior designer. So the field is dominantly run by males, being in the construction industry, although there are a lot of female contractors coming up. So my struggle has been from the beginning of my career through now, just having to prove myself that my knowledge is equal or close to equal the other men on the job site. And luckily, I come from a family with a strong construction background, so I had some of that knowledge of being around that type of environment. So the struggle was easier for me, but still I found myself often trying to prove that my knowledge was equal or equivalent to theirs.
Friendship. It all starts with friendship. I have a couple girlfriends that are so near and dear to me. I have a great relationship with my mom. I think as we become in a world where you're so available all the time, you're available on social media, you're expected to be answering your phone and texts and tweets, you can get really overwhelmed, and you couple that with normal life, especially now during COVID and things are so unexpected. For me, relying on those friendships that are based truly in honesty and there's no judgment. It sounds very cliche, but those of you that have women like that in your life, you know how valuable that is, and they are by far my saving grace.
My faith has been a big part of overcoming, as well as just not quitting, making sure I get up and knowing that if I've had a failure or I had a mistake, it's not final, and I can rise above that. It doesn't define me, and I get to rise up and keep going and keep showing up every day.
Surrounding myself with people that are in line with my vision for what the daily plan is, whether it's at home or work, and make sure that I'm finding some kind of balance, and you only do that with people that you trust and are on your team.
Oh my gosh, I spend so much time with the Lord, like prayer, worship music around me all the time. I have good women around me that are always pouring into me, but I'm also just learning from them. And then I would say, making plans for adventures. That's been a way to really reward myself for the hard work.
I stay in my lane. I don't get caught up in what others are doing, alongside of me. So I really try to stay in my lane and remember what I was created for, stay focused on that, and go after something regardless of whether it's a girl or female, male dominated industry or whatever the stigma is around that. I zone in on what I'm capable of doing.
Sincerity, authenticity, I think, caring, I think that's what people value the most.
Experience, 100%. More time in the field, just repetitive of the industry, knowing that you've done it and you've done it well and being able to move on.
Gosh, this gets me choked up every time someone asks me this.
My mom really does inspire me. She's just able to take the punches and really see the bright side of things.
My mom, of course, because she had always such a great attitude and was so loving and just always encouraging.
Definitely my mom and my grandmother. They just take care of everyone around them, make everyone feel welcome and approachable. And you always feel special when you're in the room with any of them.
I think about my mom first and foremost because from very early on, I remember her always in her prayer chair, doing her devotions first thing in the morning, doing devotions with us as kids around the breakfast table in the morning, and then I would say just family dinners at night. She was always orchestrating that.
Stay-at-home moms. It's not an individual person that inspires me. I always say the hardest job in the world is being a stay-at-home mom. And so I have so much respect and admire those who choose that as their profession because it truly is the hardest job in the world.
My sister, and she passed away, and the things, I looked at her as somebody really strong and very talented, and but she saw that more in me, and so she instilled in me constantly a belief in that you can do great things.
It takes a village, so there's a lot of women that have inspired me. I would say that my grandmother, I have had the luxury of having two grandmothers. One was just this really fantastic, fabulous, flamboyant lady. She traveled the world. My other one is my grandmother on my other side, my father's side. She was a realtor. She also raised a family, 5 girls and my dad, and she always made time to have dinner on the table and really showed that you can have it all, you can do it all. She always puts family first, but that she was a strong career woman.
Saying no. It's a really hard challenge when you're a working mom and wife, but giving yourself permission to say no, to take better care of yourself, because you're not going to show up for everybody else until you really learn to show up for yourself. So I think as a woman, we're probably all a work in progress, trying to master that, but definitely learning to say no.
That you're worthy, and and be confident. Be confident in who you are. Trust your gut. So I would say that's just reiterating that worthiness, that you're worthy of this and you deserve this.
That you can do anything you put your mind to. We're all equal, and if you want to obtain anything in life, it's gonna take some hard work, but I can work just as hard as anyone else.
So I believe the more confident I have become in who I am and the gifts that I've been given, just the more free it feels to be who I'm created to be.
You truly can do anything you put your mind to. There is absolutely nothing off the table because you're a female.
Always take 100% responsibility for where you are. And when you do that, you hold on to your power.
Remember who you are as a person, as a human being, what your morals are, where you came from. So what are your roots? What is the true part of your soul? And then where you're going, what's the end game? What's the end goal for you? And when I stop and think about those 3 questions in any situation, it's been the best advice, because I always find my center, and I always lead with my heart and my true authentic self.
There's so much talk with all of these women right now, really just trying to be heard, you know, and I think unfortunately we divide ourselves even as women, and I think really having the courage, you know, you've heard the phrase, a true hero straightens another woman's crown, and I think that's really what this boils down to. We need to show up for each other, and with such a divided political and religious climate, we need to be kind and we need to be loving, and if we can master that small task every day, hour by hour, it really will make a difference.
By being a support system for one another, lifting each other up, encouraging one another, and come along people as a friend, a mentor, and let people know that you are there and that you care. I think that goes a long ways in the world today.
I think it's happening now. There's so many women in leadership that are really providing a different outlook to what women can do and what they can achieve. So I feel like it's happening now, and if we just continue on that path, then there will not be a divide.
Women provide a unique perspective in this world. I think we're highly emotional, and I believe we lead with our hearts a lot, and I think we honestly need more of that today. I believe we need people who lead with love first. I think, of course, you know, truth is important, but I think it starts with love. I think people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that starts with connecting first. And I think women are naturally born to do that. We're nurturers by nature. And I believe the world could use a whole lot more of that right now.
For women to unite, encourage, and empower each other. It's very difficult for women enough without females attacking them from every angle. So just the support of other females is the biggest way we can unite as a group.
Make sure you vote and make sure your voice, your voice matters, and never minimize that. And then that's in any situation, that your voice does matter. So that would be my message.
Keep being strong women that respect themselves, respect the people around them, respect the women around them, and support each other in the best way we can. Whether that's through supporting women businesses, whether that's encouraging, moms that choose to stay at home, whatever it is, if we can just support each other and be there with an open heart no matter what their choices are, I think that encourages women of all ages to achieve their end goal and find their true authentic self.
On August 26, 1920, the Susan B. Anthony Amendment becomes the law of the land.
We have made notable progress as women. Of course, we can always still improve. We are advocates for each other. We will not stop caring. We will not stop trying. We will not stop creating. We will not stop giving. We will not stop loving. We will not stop encouraging. We will not stop excelling. We will not stop. We are resilient. We are women.